Go,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. See, I've been trying to be professional and wearing all these nice clothes and being like sitting here, being chill all the time. I was looking at people whose content were really killing it. And I'm like, oh, I got to do SEO. I got to type in keywords. I got to write these descriptions and have all this fancy stuff. And then I really thought about it. I'm like, there's dudes making reviews and there's dudes making tons of professional business videos. But I want something entertaining too. I want a little bit animation. And I want people to go out and take like real initiative and have fun and throw things and really be who they are and not be defined by this employee mindset where somebody else is telling you how to act, telling you how to think, or telling you what to do. That's what we're going to dive into tonight. We're going to amp it up and we're going to talk about the employee versus the entrepreneur mindset. So open anyone, throw out their ideas and put some energy behind it.
Well, I think the employee mindset comes from the need for predictable income and security. People who can't find the path to entrepreneurism are ones who can't give up the security of a paycheck.
Yep. I agree. I mean, when I started this, I wanted to have people come on here and be inspired. Now I'm realizing that, hey, people would rather just make excuses for the most part instead of getting out there and taking action. Well, you have to do that. You can't sit around doing nothing. You can't blame other people if you're not learning more skills or you're not out there applying the skills you have or you're not connecting with people who have the skills you need. I mean, the internet is a vast, profound resource of information. So what excuses? Why do people have those excuses? I don't know. I don't have an excuse anymore. I've got to be doing what I have to do to get where I want to go, and I can't blame anyone else. I got to do it myself with teamwork, of course, but you got to have many people with the same mindset saying, hey, get off your ass and do something. Let's go. Come on, get up, get up, get up, get up. You know, so I mean, that's how it has to be. You got to have people around you that are as motivated as you are. That's how I feel.
What's lacking with a lot of people is a strong, compelling why. They really don't understand why they want the things that they want. And it can't just be, I want to have money. It's got to be deeper than that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you know, you got all these, I've encountered so many skeptics. They're like, well, you can't make money online. And I'm like, you know, like, just look, just check it out. Just check it out for yourself. Do your own thinking. Don't be skeptical of everything because not everything's a scam. Yeah, there's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of crap that takes your money and doesn't deliver you any results. But there's also plenty of legitimate business opportunities for people. They just have to get rid of that whole scam mindset.
You learn as much from the failures as you, and in fact, more from your failures than you do from your successes. So each experience where you maybe put up a few bucks and you find out that you've been scammed, in essence, is really a learning experience. You learn what doesn't work and what to look for. So you get better over time.
Yep. I agree. I mean, if people start slacking, I'm going to be the first one to go, hey, get up. What are you doing? Come on. Don't sit on your ass. Get up. Come on. Get going. What are you doing? You're giving up on your dream that easy? Come on. You can't do that. You can't be that way. You're not going to get where you want to go if you're giving up on yourself so easily or other people you're working with. Like, get up. Stop making excuses. And that's the kind of people I want to work with, because there's days where I feel like total crap. And I still have to get up. I still have to show up. I have to do a gratitude list every day. And I got to realize that, hey, this is a temporary mindset. This is a temporary position I'm in right now. And if I keep persisting, I'm going to get where I want to go. But I have to be grateful.
The only one that's going to benefit from your gratitude list is going to be you. And
yep, I know.
If you just want to rest on your laurels, you're going nowhere. You can't sit back and say, well, it's gonna boost me to the next level. You've got to take the bull by the horns, like you said, and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and move on.
Yep.
Exactly. If you're not taking the biggest thing between an employee and entrepreneur, and employee's like, what do I do? Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do next. And Alex Becker has this video. He's like, look, you all want somebody to lay out the steps for you. And he's like, that's great if you want a job, if you want a job. But as opposed to actually getting stuff done, like, let's say I want to get my Shopify store, which I was just doing. I can't sit there and be like, thanks. I can't sit there and be like, it's Doug's fault. I can't sit there and be like, the guy who's giving me themes that I don't like, it's his fault. At the end of the day, I got to sit there and Google stuff and then like make something appear and then give someone a link to something they can actually use. And if I can't do that, then somebody else isn't at fault. It's not Francis's fault if I'm not successful. It's not Chris's. It's not Marsha's. And once you can get that self-responsibility, that's what everybody else is stuck in. They're like, well, what do you want to happen in your life? They're like, I don't know. And then I don't know goes out, and then they're like, well, nothing's gonna happen.
Well, how the hell can you go anywhere if you don't know what you want? That's kind of step one, guys. Like, write it down. Write down what you want. Write down the goals.
When all else fails, read the directions.
Write down what you want. It's so simple. It's so simple. Write it down, make a daily action plan, and do it. And the more you do it, it becomes habitual, and then you're doing it constantly, and then you don't even realize you're doing it anymore, so it doesn't become work anymore. It becomes habit, and it becomes fun, and it becomes enjoyable.
That's a key word. It becomes habit.
Yep. That's what success is. It's a habit. I'm learning that. I'm learning that myself. I mean, it's been so difficult in some ways for me to be grateful because I'm not where I want to be in life right now. But Marsha pointed out a lot of good stuff to me last night about it. And that if I'm not grateful now, the door won't open for other things. So I got to amp up my energy. I got to amp up my vibration and expect my life to get better. And it will. But I have to be grateful now before that's going to happen. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for everybody. I know it's hard.
Well, I just recently have talked to you, and you have spurred me on to where I'm just kind of need a pity party. But I went to you, I went to Kareem, and I didn't need the pity party. Then I was ready to get back in the saddle and carry on and go forward.
Yep. That's what you got to do.
Bill Bauer joined.
Oh, Doug's on the phone. What about Marsha or James or Bill? Marsha, what do you have to say about that? Anything?
I'm actually just sitting here listening to this whole discussion, and I really am looking at my whole journey here because I made some major changes for myself. And I didn't know what those changes were actually, where it was going to land for me. And when I got certified, I realized, oh my God, now I am in the big league where I actually better know how to say it, do it, and mean it.
And own it, yes.
Now, Marsha, is that certifications means you're certifiably insane, or are we talking about a different kind of certification, Marsha?
You can take a look at any kind of certification and put a label to it, Chris. I mean, my life has not been without ups and downs, for damn sure. Okay. Yeah. So the question that comes to my mind really is, I wonder how many of us really realize our worth. What do you realize about your worth? If I were to say to you, Chris, I am, you know what? If there were no class that was going to start, and I just had finished my Pay Me What I'm Worth class. You had just finished your Pay Me What I'm Worth class. And you had no income coming in from a class. How does that affect you? How do you see it now?
That'd be hard. That'd be really hard. I think that I would be going, okay, well, where am I going to go from here? And how can I be grateful in this moment? Well, I know for a fact that this journey has been, I'm very grateful for you and the class. And even if I didn't have a class ready, I'd still be grateful for the work that I'm continuing to do on myself and the awareness that I'm coming to through doing this. That's something to be grateful
So
for.
you wouldn't consider it a waste of time?
No, absolutely no. No, not at all. And I am very stubborn. Ask Marsha.
So where is your worth level at?
Oh, I know you. Yes.
Where's your level of worth if that were to happen? Is it a 10 or is it a 1? Where is it at?
I would try to get it up to a 10 as quickly as I could.
So what you're saying is after this whole journey with Pay Me What I'm Worth, you still don't know that all your worth is internally inside of you.
I do.
Okay.
It would just be a
then
little.
Let me hear it, Chris. What are you worth?
10.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I know you understand that aspect of it, because it doesn't matter if you're making money, if you're not making money. Do you know your value?
Yes.
In this world?
And if you don't cherish and own your value, then you're backtracking, and you kind of wasted your time, didn't you?
Yep. You're right.
I want to welcome Sefin. What's up, man? And he just left, go figure. But as an entrepreneur, and like how we're talking about the whole subject and tying that in, knowing that I have to go out and work on myself and get myself to be a better person every day, and that I know that I have enough skills that I'm worth it, comes from within me. It can't come externally. Everything external is just a manifestation of me going out there and getting back whatever I'm feeling. Not in a weird law of attraction way. I still have to do the work. I still have to say, if I want a radio show, I have to get on TED Talks and contact people and give them interview requests. If I want to build a YouTube following, I have to talk to people. I have to get out there and make contacts. Nobody's going to tell me that. No boss is going to stand over my shoulder. I'm just wondering, like, I know you guys all have your own little businesses that you do in different areas. How does that work for you?
For me, I don't want a boss standing over my shoulder, because if a boss is nattering in my ear, I'm likely to punch him. That's one thing. That's one reason I'm not employable in some aspects, because if you're standing behind me and you're telling me to go faster, or you're telling me to do, you're going to get punched. That's the reality of it, man. Because when I'm at a job like that and I'm doing my best and I'm working as hard as I can, there's a certain stress level going on because of the pressure to perform, the pressure to do my job well, and I'm putting all my focus into that. And if somebody behind me is going, you're getting punched, better get back. Don't yell at me. Don't talk in my ear like that, or you're gonna get smoked.
The
and it's happened before.
Power Hour does not condone punching.
No, I don't. But I mean, I'm just telling the truth.
Violence. No.
I'm telling it like it is, man. You cannot talk to me like that. The way Marsha talks to me is much different. She makes me aware of things. She is my teacher. She is one of my mentors. She makes me aware of things. She doesn't talk down to me. She doesn't tell me that I have to do something this way. It's a lot different. Marsha's not criticizing. She's pointing out things I could be aware of. There's a big difference. So as an entrepreneur, I gravitate towards people who will point out things for me and say, have you tried looking at it this way, rather than yelling over my shoulder and pissing me off.
Have you looked at it in a way that punching people is pretty animated?
Yes, punching people is animated. Yes, it is.
Someone's going to click on this and they're like, wow, this is a violent channel.
You can make a suggestion, but don't give orders.
That's right. Because nobody likes to feel like they're being attacked or judged. Nobody likes that.
Non-judgmental.
You can't tell me there's one person on this panel tonight that likes to be told what to do. Or we wouldn't be entrepreneurs, would we? No, we don't want to be told what to do. No. We want to make our own decisions for ourselves and make our own life choices. That's what life should be about. But unfortunately, it's not that way. Unless you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur and you're going to work your ass off.
And it takes backbone.
That's right.
It
Like
takes
punching
lots
people
of time.
pisses you off.
Hi,
What did you say, Sharon? Hi, Sharon. What did you say?
I said it takes a lot of time. And a
Well,
lot of effort.
Sharon, do you remember the story you told Kareem and I last week about somebody who was accosting you because over something? I'm not going to get into specifics because I don't really remember everything. But remember how you felt when you had somebody talking down to you, how it made you feel like you were suffering worth decay and you didn't feel worth, and you were really upset. Do you remember that?
Yep.
And do you remember what Kareem and I we suggested, that you take a look at that situation and you cut that person out?
That's right.
yeah,
And
some people are just toxic to a relationship,
yes, exactly.
and they weigh you down rather than lift you up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sharon. You were talking. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
No.
So I was saying I'll probably just talk to the manager of that agency and see if I can another person.
That's what you. Yep. Exactly.
Because there's no stinking way that I can work with this person.
That's right.
Any names since it's still out there.
No, we don't have to give names, but you don't deserve that.
No, no one does.
No.
Actually, I'll tell you another story.
Go ahead.
Twice. Ha! You know, how would you like it if you got hung up on the phone?
Yep. I know. People hanging up on it. It just takes the smallest act from somebody that is disconcerting. It just takes the smallest negative thing to affect your whole day at times. Yeah, you can get over stuff pretty easy, but I mean, especially early in the morning, if you got something like you spill your coffee or you your car you get into an accident, it throws you off for most of the day. So I think it's really vital to realize that your day has to start off good. And I've been doing what Marcia suggested today. I've been waking up and writing a gratitude list or recording it in my phone. I'm grateful I slept last night. I'm grateful I have a bed. I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful I have food, cats, friends, the show, people who love me, people who care about me, a mom that cares about me, this course that I've been taking, these people on this show. That's a lot to be grateful for. And sometimes my judgment gets clouded because I'm still working on that part of myself. It's a journey. It's going to be a journey for the rest of my life.
That's a great idea with the grateful list.
Yes, it is. What did you say, Marcia?
I was going to just see if I have permission to ask you a question.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I just want to know, when you have those moments, Chris, where, the frustration starts coming in and, you pick up on it, you become aware of it.
Yes.
What do you do to help yourself so that you can get back into a balance for your, let's just put it, sanity?
Yeah.
So that you can actually be centered in a place of peace about what is happening around you. When chaos and mayhem start happening, you have to be the one to choose your reaction, but also clear whatever is happening as far as your feelings about it go.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I put on some metal, or I get my guitar out, or I go for a walk, or do some stuff related to what I'm doing so that I can go, wait a minute, I have accomplished a lot. Being sponsored by the Marketers Cooperative is huge for us right now. We're getting ourselves out there more and more. Having a full panel like we do have been having each Tuesday is huge for us. Completing this course and being a part of this great journey that we're on with Team Seekers. That's where I'm starting to go in myself, and I'm realizing that, Chris, you're not falling behind. See, I think that why I get frustrated is because I feel like I'm not far enough yet. And I look at Josh Bendowski, and I know I shouldn't compare myself, but he is a world-renowned video marketer. He's on magazines, he's on this, and this, and I bet you he's younger than me. And I'm going, why didn't I do what he's done? I'm sure he's probably put in 50,000 hours into his career or more. And it's because I didn't make the better choices when I was younger, and I guess I just wish I had made better choices, and it's really frustrating that I didn't, but now I can't do anything about it. I have to go forward, and that's the only choice I have.
Well, Chris, as far as for your choices that you made that you weren't pleased with, well, how do you see that as part of your worth?
Because I learned a lot. I learned a lot from it. I learned that I do want to be successful, and I am motivated, and I want to keep myself motivated. I've made motivation a habit. I've made working on stuff a habit. I've made, getting out here and connecting with people a habit. And I don't want to fall off the horse.
Or the way I see it is who you are as you sit here today is the sum total of your life's experiences up to this point, good choices and bad choices. So if you like who's sitting in the chair, it's all good. Just as long as you're continuing to grow and heading in the right direction.
Thanks, James. Appreciate that sentiment. Thank you.
It comes down to, for me, I know that sometimes I'm going to get hit by a bus, and sometimes my morning.
Let's hope not, Green.
So that's not real. Not for real. Maybe like, okay, I guess a bus is coming through my house. Like, oh God, how did Greyhound get here? But it really comes down to some mornings might not be that great. I might say it's morning, it's not good, and then like I'm half asleep, and then I do something goofy, and I lose my keys, and the coffee's too hot. But then I can still look at the day and say, it's not what happens. Everybody gets rained on, right? It's how I deal with it. It's how I look at that experience and say, okay, good experience, bad experience. As an employee and entrepreneur, why is this important? Because an employee or someone who's feeling like they're a victim is going to look at it as, I got hit with, there's too many boulders in here, or I fell down too many times. I can't get through. The entrepreneur mindset is, I failed a bunch of times. I'm that step closer to succeeding.
Yeah.
I got fired from that job. That's fine. Or I got laid off. That's one more step to finding my ideal job. And then I sit there and look at it like that. I still have the confidence within me to know that whatever is going to hit me, I'll get up. It's like that Chumbawamba song. I get knocked down, but I'll get up again. And that's really the difference I've seen between people who build $5 million companies and people who employ people at $500 million companies.
Yeah.
Get up after you get bankrupt, after you fail, after you go to Australia and a koala jumps out for, eat your face. You're like, oh.
Actually, that'd be more of a big spider, because Australia has spiders everywhere. I should go there and catch some, but anyway. Yeah, I have tarantulas. I do. I love those things. But getting back to the original point here, I feel that wherever I'm going now is okay. I really want...
You've always got your kitty cats that if you feel like you've lost your worth, you've always got them. They need you. They wouldn't exist.
I know, but it's. I don't feel like I don't have worth. I just really want to go further in my life, and I know I have to work for it. And I think that's the difference between.
Where do you go back and pick up the thread to hang on and keep going?
The plan.
Yeah, from my experiences, that's all I have to go on. From my bad experiences have taught me a lot about myself. They've taught me what I'm capable of dealing with, what I'm capable of overcoming, what I'm capable of surviving, and that's worth.
And you'll do it again.
That's worth right there. Surviving as much as I have is worth.
That's right. You go to the head of the class.
Yeah. What'd you say, James?
I said it's really kind of simple. It's plan, do, and review.
Adjust. Well, and adjust too. There's another element there.
Do and adjust to the same thing. You do the postmortem on the doing, which maybe got really messy and gone the wrong direction, but you recalculate, and then you revise the plan, and then you do some more. That's the action part.
Yeah.
So as long as you have a plan and you're moving forward, even if you fall flat on your face, in the doing part, you can always readjust, review, revise the plan, and do some more. And as long as you're committed to that process, you will continue to move forward and succeed.
That's true.
It's just a little consistency each day.
Yep.
Thank you, James. I really like what you shared with us just a minute ago.
Carly, you were unmuted. We haven't heard from you yet. Would you like to contribute to the discussion?
Yeah, Chris, I just wanted to say was that you know, with you know, as you said that, you know, you've made some mistakes. It's better that you make those mistakes when you're younger than when you're older, where, you know, you said, well, someone is doing something. I mean, I used to feel that way. Well, someone is doing this and that. But the thing is that we all do things at different time. There's, you know, everyone has a different plan and things like that. But if you do things when you're younger and you do your mistakes, it's actually a better process, because when you're older, you actually can't get away with those, I guess, mistakes, some of them.
Yeah.
And that, that you will, it's going to be, it will be better to learn from them when you're younger than, and when you're older, you know, well, hang on, I might not be where I want to be, but I've done all this, and then it's building blocks, where a lot of people that have done it, yes, they've got to start and do you know, if they do bankruptcy or they do something, it's harder for them in life, and it can sometimes hit them a bit more harder than someone that is younger. So you're probably in a better position now than what you would be if you were older.
No,
That's another way to look at it.
So that's sort of like finding out at 10,000 feet that your primary chute's not going to open.
You better have a backup plan pretty quick if you're falling from 30,000 feet in the air.
When I went skydiving, they said that it's better to know that your primary is not going to open, because you got a lot more time at 10,000 feet to find the backup chute and get it open than you do at 2,000.
Yeah.
Well, the entrepreneur looks at it.
So let me ask you something. Since life is life, and you never know how life is going to be, none of us know that. If you aren't young when you make those mistakes, and you're actually older when you make those mistakes, then what?
Okay. I have an interesting story with that, because I have a friend of my uncle's who was actually an investor, and he like messed up. He like ran businesses. Then he actually messed up, I think in his 70s or 80s. Don't like quote me on the exact time, because I don't remember. And basically he started businesses. Then he eventually went bankrupt. That's 70s and 80s. That's not a whole lot of time, most people would say. He still believed there was time. He took out a few loans. He kept the connections that he had. He kept working on stuff day in, day out. Same thing, consistency. Had an action plan. Had a goal. What am I going to do? Eventually, he was able to make more money than he did with all of his previous businesses. And this is speaking metaphorically, because he stuck it out, even though most people would say it's too old, you know, you're 70 or 80, retire, you know, take a loss, take a hit. I'm going to say this, as an entrepreneur, my mindset is, when I'm 80, you throw me in the jungle, I'll come out with a leopard skin, a spear, and a bunch of people dancing. And
so what I'm really hearing here is that with every lesson that we learn in life, there's really wisdom that's growing within us. That's what I'm hearing.
exactly.
And you are adding that wisdom into what's called the wisdom bank. And that is valuable. That is valuable stuff for many people.
The wisdom bank is ever growing. It's like a tree. It just branch. And as entrepreneurs, you jump into a new bank you don't know how to run each day. And then you're running the bank, the teller doesn't know what to do, and you're helping the teller. You're stopping robberies. You don't know how to do any of this. But I just work my way each day, learning a new skill, trying to figure something out, contacting someone. And eventually the bank grows, the tree grows. I'm like, wow, if I could accomplish this, what else could I accomplish? It's like one skill opens up a million skills. And
one of the primary skills that I hear coming from all of the people here is the fact that you're the kind of people that other people can know, like, and trust. Otherwise, you've learned to be more empathetic. We've all learned to be more empathetic and make it about the other person more than about our agenda. And to do that in a non-judgmental environment, which makes us good collaborators.
It's essential to be an entrepreneur. You have to go out, collaborate, make new connections every day. Look at your Facebook list. Look at people who are posting interesting things. Look at different stuff on YouTube you like, content, blog posts, music, even music's things you like. The different people are just doing interesting things in the world. And send them an email like, hey, what's up? I liked it. Or ask
to approach that from a genuine interest in other people, not just, I need to make 5 connections today.
Yeah, not, okay. I want to say this. Don't grab them and be like, oh, I have an email list. I can spam them. Hey, I have like a million things. Make out of something you watched, something you thought, something you read, something they pulled up an aha. You know what I'm saying? I was checking out their blog, and dude, I never know that if you combined lemons with kiwis and then mixed it with like chocolate syrup, that you could cure, you know,
bad breath.
And then you hit them up and you're like, dude, that was an awesome article. People think I'm cool now. I have an awesome breath. I got like a girlfriend, and then all the girls are chasing me. Can I interview you? Maybe a little bit more professional or something like that.
Oh, I want to know what kind of product he's using. He's getting women chasing him all the time.
Maybe he's using Axe, but it comes down to finding people you're interested in, hitting up that similar interest, and just growing that spider web.
Yeah.
So yeah. Being in business, we all have what I describe as our agenda. Our agenda is the opportunity to promote the business that we're in, to grow our business. If you think in terms of putting your agenda in a briefcase and you're now going to have a conversation with somebody for the very first time, view that as walking into their house. This is like imagery. You're walking into their house and you have your agenda in your briefcase. The best way to approach that first conversation is to leave your briefcase on the porch, which means you don't go into that conversation with your agenda. You go into that conversation to learn and to connect with the person, learn more about them and what they need. And then at some point, the conversation can switch. You can leave their house, go into yours, pick up your agenda, and ultimately maybe one conversation or 5 conversations down the road, you can then actually have a discussion about your agenda once the connection's been made. That's kind of what's been turned around for me in the last 5 years. It's not about me anymore. It's about you. It's about them.
We were in a program like that, weren't we, Kareem? Do you remember? Marsha knows. James, are you in that program?
What program was that?
Mentoring for free.
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay.
See, they wanted to tell us, here's right, here's wrong. As an entrepreneur, don't hurt anybody, obviously. I put that in quotes. But there isn't like a right or a wrong answer. I'm not trying to find like, this is the right answer. This is the wrong answer. This is the answer in between. The right answer is, if I have a plan and a goal, what is going to get me to that goal? That's the right answer for me. How am I going to contact? Like to sit there and say, well, you have to do it like this, and you have to send out a message, and you have to follow up like this. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, that's not going to work. Find out what works for you, write your own messages, create your own engagements, and find out, maybe some people are different. Maybe you'll follow up with somebody 50 times. Maybe you'll follow up with someone once and they're hooked and they're ready and they set up everything and they're ready to rock.
Well, what's funny is every entrepreneur is different, so you can't use the same script or the same message all the time. And you gotta make sure that you're standing out from all the crap that's out there for when it comes to business. That's why we're doing this show. That's why we're doing Pay Me What I'm Worth, because it stands out from everything else. And when Marsha and I, or Marsha and whoever, when we want to get people to take a look at Pay Me What I'm Worth, we don't explain anything. We give them audios to listen to. Because to know what Pay Me What I'm Worth is, you have to experience it. There's no other way around it. You can't explain this course to people because everyone's journey with it is completely different. So it's completely subjective. There's no objective way of explaining pay me what I'm worth. It's all based on experience and subjectivity.
I never explained the power out. Like this show you're on, I never really explained it much to people. Like I explained, okay, it's at 7:30. We discussed some topics, so they give them a little background. But like with Rick Rodriguez, with Marsha, with all of them, and a lot of different people, I just said, hey, come on, you want to hang out with some fun people? They're like, yep. Even my friend Cedric, who was a regular, is coming back. I was just like, here, because he was talking to me and he wasn't sure what it was, and I said, come on, hang out. I'll give you a link. You click on it. You show up. You have fun. If you don't have a good time, if you don't think it's good, no obligation, no come back. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to flag you down on Facebook. I'm not going to hit up your YouTube. Just come in, hang out, and see that this is valuable content. This is real content from real people that you can relate to. And he did. You're coming back. It's just that simple. Putting out value, getting value back.
Kind of your version of a mastermind group.
Basically. Masterminding is how everybody that, in my opinion, who's been successful has all. There's not one person I've looked at that hasn't done some kind of professional development and had some kind of group or mastermind or collective or whatever you want to call it that has focused and helped them move forward. It would be very difficult to accomplish anything if you had a bunch of naysayers saying, come on, you need to make YouTube videos. How much is that paying? How much you make? Yeah, I mean, you get a nice, safe job, you'll be fine. I mean, get some benefit. You can retire at 60. What scared the heck out of me. I'm like, oh my God.
There's another name for job. It's called just over broke or slavery. That's what a job really is. You go in, you clock in, you're paid for 8 hours that you never get back, doing meaningless stuff that you just, especially working in food service. My God. I liked cooking at major restaurants. I was a chef at Gulliver's for 8 years. I really enjoyed that, mostly because I knew a lot of the waitresses. But it was when you get 10 orders coming in and you've got 3 line cooks, you've got to make at least 3 orders by yourself. Then you've got other people coming in saying, well, this table needs this. We forgot this. This table needs this. That was probably the highest stressed job I've ever been in. But I handled it because I didn't have people yelling over my shoulder. They just said, good job, Chris, keep going. And then if we had too much, there'd be 2 other cooks that would come in and say, okay, where are you? What do I need to make? Bang, 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 bang. That's teamwork. That's what makes a business flourish. And that's what being in a team, to me, is all about. And in a lot of network marketing companies, that doesn't exist.
No.
That camaraderie is not there. You know, you get sponsored, you get sponsored, and you get told what to do, and then you're thrown into the water without a life jacket.
Ron.
And that's why I have no faith in MLMs anymore. So
but I have faith in Ron Lester, who just
he's here. His phone's
the entrepreneur warrior. I mean, can you hear us, Ron?
His phone's
frozen.
I can hear you. Oh, there he is. Ron. Hey, Ron. We missed you, man. How's things been going with your financial consulting? I know you've been busy as hell. So how's that? Have you been making some cash? What's going on?
Oh, gee, it's been insane. It's,
That's good, though. You want it busy. That's good.
Not like that. Holy crap.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, man, at least you're
what you wish for, Ron, you might get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Ron, we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah.
Just hit us up. If you need anyone to spend your money, we'll be happy to help you with that, too. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you could do crowdfunding.
Yeah, I ended up, landed an agency that was pretty massive, and they brought in like 100 agents all together. I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, so Ron, how's things been going? Are you feeling all right? Didn't you have a tooth pulled recently or something like that?
Oh yeah, I got the whole procedure done.
Okay, good. You're feeling better then?
Oh yeah, much better. Now
Good.
now it's just getting used to the new me.
There you go. Yeah. So, Ron, tonight we've been discussing taking initiative, entrepreneur versus employee mindset. And we've been brainstorming, laughing, having a good time, getting more animated, getting more entertaining for our viewers. We've been talking about that an entrepreneur mindset is somebody who takes action, dives into adventure, explores their skills, learns from their skills, learns other people's skills, and then applies everything they learn, whereas an employee has to have every step laid out for them. Now, you've been an entrepreneur for quite a while, Ron. I mean, have you encountered people that on your teams that have just not done anything because they haven't received, or they've blamed you because they haven't had the right instructions or they haven't had the right steps laid out for them?
Yeah, that's really funny you asked me that. Right now, so obviously, like in this, what I'm doing right now, I am in the mode of where I'm actually an employer, where I'm actually teaching people the right processes. And as a matter of fact, even before they started their training, I had one of the agents goes, "Holy cow!" He goes, "You already went over all this stuff even before the training started." I said, "Well, the whole purpose of that is so that at least you get a heads up, and so that when you actually hear the training, you can already see how it works." And in that aspect, that's exactly what an entrepreneur is going to do for their employees. You know what I mean? If you got people that you're bringing on board your team, whether it's any type of business, even if it's network marketing, you got to look at it if it's a business. You're as an entrepreneur, whatever your business is. If you're bringing people into a team, you're in a sense their employer. So you want to prepare. You want to help them as much as you can, because if they don't have a role model, they're going to be pretty much fish in a barrel, or deer in a headlight. Either cliche, it works.
Yeah, it does.
So, that's what I think. I think the big difference is what you're intending. Are you intending on being a solo entrepreneur, or are you talking about being an entrepreneur that's looking at it with an expansive vantage point?
Yes. I think that in team, you have to have team. You can't make a business by yourself. You can't build a bridge by yourself. You can't build a car by yourself. You can't put up a house by yourself. I mean, it's the same thing. As humans, we need each other to succeed at whatever we want to do. You always need somebody else's skills. You always need somebody else's creativity. You always need somebody else's expertise. Because somebody's going to have skills that you don't have, you're going to have skills that they don't have, and you just merge everything together and work together. So, yeah, you can't do that you can't be an entrepreneur by yourself.
As a matter of fact, that's a great point you brought up too. Even if you're being an independent business owner, in other words, you're a solo entrepreneur.
Right.
It's still going to take outside sources to help you get going. So even if you're an individual, you're never alone. You almost got to have somebody help you along the way.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Yep. You got to have people that are willing to do the work too. Like when you sponsor somebody, you got to be like, "Hey man, get up, get off your ass." Like this isn't, we're not playing around here. If you're playing for this team, you're getting in the gridiron and you're making plays, man. You're going to take that tackle. You're going to take that hit. You're going to get knocked down, but we're going to help you get back up, and you just got to keep going. That's how championships are won in sports. So I look at that the same way as I look at being an entrepreneur. Those athletes are paid millions of dollars for a reason. And I don't like it. I cannot stand it when people complain about how much money professional athletes make. Because I'm going to tell you something. Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors shot 402 three-pointers in 82 games. He didn't get that good by sitting around and making excuses. He was on that court every morning at 6 o'clock practicing his jump shot.
And you can even take that back to when they're kids.
Exactly. Like he was shooting threes at 9 years old, because from the time he was old enough to watch basketball, he was like, "I'm going to be the next best shooter in the NBA." And he is. He's the best three-point shooter. Ray Allen, He's better than Ray Allen, Ron. You know who Ray Allen is. He played for the Boston Celtics. He's better than him from beyond the arc. And then you look at LeBron James. We all know who he is. He's the next Michael Jordan. He powers to the rim. He's a power forward. 41 points in back-to-back games for Cleveland. You don't get that good by accident. If you want to be the best, you have to work the hardest. You have to chase what seems impossible over and over and over again. And you can't give up. And that's the motivation that I am building in myself, and that I hope that we're building in all of you, to be the best you can be, to be the LeBron James of your business, or the Stephen Curry of your business, or whatever. And I think those athletes deserve all the money they get, because 90% of those guys in the NBA, because most of those players come from inner city backgrounds that are very rough urban environments where there's a lot of crime, violence, and things like that. They have a chance to make something of themselves because of basketball, because there's courts in those cities everywhere, and that's what they do. To get their stress out, to do something productive, to exercise. They play basketball, and it gets them off the street. And 90% of those guys open youth centers for troubled youth that are in tougher inner cities like that, and they make a difference in their communities. You can't do that working at McDonald's. You got to have millions of dollars to make a big impact on a city or a neighborhood that needs help like that. And that's why I love the NBA, because that's what those players do. That's what they do. They're great people.
You can't forget the Kiwi Steven Adams as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he plays. Oh my! You know who Steven Adams is, Carly? He's that big Oklahoma City center.
Yeah, that got pushed over and had a bleeding nose and stuck some toilet paper up there, and he just got on with it. I know.
Steven Adams is a beast. He is a beast. He can score too. I'm glad OKC picked him up. He's so good. Very good player. And it's just, that's the attitude you got to have. And you got to cultivate that. Anyway, somebody else can talk. I'm getting off my soapbox.
Well, Chris, I just want to thank you all for a great night and very energetic power hour. I think you definitely accomplished your goal with putting more momentum in the presentation today.
Well, that's what we got to do. We want views. We want people to pay attention. We got to shake them up and go, hey, get off your ass. Move, go. You want something, work for it. Get up.
Right. That's what we have to do. That's what we've got to keep in our minds for the coming week and make it a goal to put that into practice individually.
That's right.
I have a question. If I was an entrepreneur and I'm like, Francis, you need to get up and go. If I was like, Francis, no, you need to work on your stuff, business, get some leads. I can't get motivated if the person who's trying to motivate me doesn't look or sound motivated. It'd be like a motivational speaker. I think you guys could succeed if you try real hard.
Yep. Could you imagine if Tony Robbins didn't have any enthusiasm?
Oh, and all the stage performances that he gave with the coaching sessions.
Yeah.
You'd get through the first 10 minutes and go to sleep.
Yeah, I know.
Learn anything.
Yeah, but he's always animated and happy, and he lets the audience engage in his seminars and asks them questions, and then he answers them. One of the best Tony Robbins videos I ever watched was, what is the real reason people don't follow through with their goals? And that video was all about the reason that people don't follow through is because they chunk. So they concentrate on having to do so much throughout the day, and then they make excuses. And so they say, well, I just don't have the time. Well, that's my favorite one, because that's never true. You've always got the time. So get that excuse out of your head. Number two is I just don't have the money. Well, that's more BS, because you could put that, whatever you're spending on cigarettes and booze and whatever else could go towards bettering yourself. So that's out. And another reason that people don't follow through is because when they have to put something into action that they don't necessarily like, they're not associating a positive result with it. They're associating pain.
Right.
They're associating the pain that's associated with taking that action. So they think that anything that's going to cause them any kind of pain or stress is not worth the result that could manifest from that.
And
so
that's where they procrastinate even getting started.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
easy.
Yeah, of course it's easy to put the sword down. It's easy to quit the boxing match. It's easy to, if the NBA says to you, well, you just didn't make it this year, you got to play one more year of college. And imagine if half of these basketball players were like, okay, you're right, I'm never going to make the NBA. It wouldn't be what it is today. Same with anything. So that's why I find myself now as well, I don't want to hang around people who aren't motivated anymore. I don't want to hang out with people who aren't going.
You're a great crusader yourself.
Thank you.
That makes all the difference.
I know. So it's, Francis, Francis, you worked with Earl Nightingale, and it's such an honor to know somebody that worked with him. Do you find it, okay, working with Earl Nightingale the way you did, do you find it hard now to be around people who aren't motivated? Is it difficult for you to be around people like that?
If they can't be led to be motivated, I just don't dwell there. I kind of cut the contact.
Yeah.
Because it's a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
So you got to know when to hold them and know when to pull them.
Yep. But I'm just, you've had a lot of experience, so I'm just wondering, I mean, what was it like for you? I mean, what's it been like for you is it difficult for you to be around people who don't seem to care and not want something more out of life? Is that difficult for you?
To linger there, it's torture.
Exactly. Okay. That's the answer I'm looking for.
If I'm able to relate to that person and bring them to a point that they're really willing to examine and look at what their goals should be and what didn't work for them, how to switch that around and give them a sense of balance, which I'm really looking forward to pay me what I'm worth, because the creating of balance and in your thinking, in your daily task, just in every vibration of your own personal, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Kareem, help her out.
Every word in like being,
Your being. That just sums it up. The balance of every aspect of your being.
Okay, thank you, Marshall. Thank you, Kareem. If you can bring them around to see where the benefit is in re-examining what they've done and give them a different focus that they can, strike out and develop, then we can move forward. But if they're just going to constantly be in a me pity party, I move on. I let them wallow in their own self-pity, and I don't take the kind of time with that kind of relationship development. Maybe I should, but it's not my day to play Mother Teresa,
Well, no. You don't have to. You're not responsible for anybody to motivate. You're not responsible to motivate anybody, Francis. You're not.
It would hurt
none
them.
of us are.
It would actually hurt them. You're not actually thinking. If you play Mother Teresa with people, and I used to think that way. I used to think, if I save everybody, if I jump to the call. I mean, granted, if I help someone and then they compensate me or give me something back in value, cool. But if I just be Mother Teresa of everybody and everything and try and save the world, I'll just get burned out and bitter. And then those people will say, hey, Kareem's going to help me for free. And then when I stop, they're like, well, what the heck's wrong with this
Exactly. That's why we understand now from Pay Me What I'm Worth that our time's worth money. This show is worth money. All you guys contributing is worth money.
It's worth money. And what you're doing in bringing this show and the topics to the forefront for everybody to see, and just go to YouTube and search the Power Hour.
Here's one thing that I definitely learned when I was on two of my journeys with Pay Me What I'm Worth. If someone comes and asks for your help, the question is, are they ready to accept your help? Because you're going to probably give them some tools or something that can help them, maybe a suggestion. It's up to them to decide if they are willing to take that suggestion. If not, why even bother asking for help?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that person has to be ready to accept whatever help it is that you have.
Exactly.
And if they're not willing to accept it, then let it go.
Well,
Just let it go.
That? Well, how do you determine that? Say I approach you and say I want help in this area, and so if you're going to help me, you're going to give me your time, which has value. So how do you know whether I'm legitimate in my desire to take action on the tools that you give me?
I'm just saying that if I am offering, if you come to me and you ask me for some help and I give you some suggestions and you keep saying, nah, that's not going to work. No, I don't want to do that. Nah, forget it. What does that tell you about that person? They're not ready to accept it.
Takes a while.
They're just not ready.
Nope.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want to thank everybody. This was awesome discussion. Definitely drilled down some main points. You got to take it.
Are we done already? Is it over?
Oh, it's 8:40.
You're having fun, Chris.
Hey.
Is it over? Are we done?
When you're having fun. I want to thank Francis Richardson, my co-host Chris Peters, Carly,
yes.
Ron,
Marsha, James. Who else was here? Doug, Sharon,
Stefan,
Josh, Stefan, right? Stefan or Stefan?
Stefan, I believe. He was typing in the little box over there.
It says F. Oh, it's okay. He says Stefan. Plenty of room at the top because so few people are shooting for it. Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Correct. That's excellent.
I'm going to encourage everybody, connect with each other. There's a chat there. I'm going to put my Facebook. I'm going to put the Power Hour page and details in there. Like, subscribe to our channel if you have not yet at the YouTube /C/the entrepreneurpowerhour.com. I'll put that in there. Thanks, everybody. And as we learned, there's a little difference between mindset of an employee and entrepreneur.
I'd say there's a big difference.
There's a big difference.
Yep.
And we drilled down a few good points. I actually recapped some of them. Taking initiative without anyone telling you, being motivated, having an awesome group of people,
and
willing to accept it. And go ahead.
Don't forget the biggest one. Stop making excuses.
That's right. That's right.
Alrighty.
Get off your ass.
This is the Alex Becker show of the Power Hour.
I could have gotten a lot more. I could have gotten a lot worse, but I'm not going to.
No.
He's great,
We're
though.
keeping it PG-13, but we're upping the energy. So come back, get some popcorn, and we'll see you next week.